When I heard that the French were trying to spearhead this effort to get a meeting together at the United Nations, the purpose of which supposedly is to recognize a Palestinian state, first of all, is incredibly inappropriate in the midst of a war that Israel is dealing with. To go out and present something that I think increasingly Israelis are steadfast against. October 7th changed a lot of things. If France is really so determined to see a Palestinian state, I've got a suggestion for you. Carve out a piece of the French Riviera and create a Palestinian state. They're welcome to do that.
White women, white men deserve black women because I think that black women just summed it up. Because I think that black women,
and I find it revolting,
are ungrateful.
They think that they have the right to do such a thing.
Can I ask you a question, Kay?
The United States will not simply will not.
No, that's fine, and I agree with it.
When I heard that the French were trying to spearhead this effort to get a meeting together at the United Nations.
Anything to make you stop. Like I just said, Kay, that you and the people you get control with the text from
but no one is using my audio and they should use my audio.
Respectfully, they can have,
I never said that white women should be for $19 per month. Black women should be white women should black men don't listen. And that's why I think that black women deserve to go. It's just that black women we talk too much, she makes stuff like this. I'm just going to reiterate it. I'm not saying, right, that black women should date white men. What I'm saying is they should not. That's what I'm saying. So I know that you niggas like to get on this app, and I know that you niggas don't listen, but that's what I said. I never said anything about I never said anything about black women dating a white man. Actually, I do not stand for it because I'm telling you, these black bitches that we be with these witnesses, they be with these witnesses, I'm trying to tell you, bro. They be going to most, they be acting disobedient, they know how to sit the fuck still. They be a hoe, you know what I'm saying? Then you be like, bitch, you got a man at home, yeah, but he white, you know? It be them bitches, so they don't deserve white.
I got a question for y'all, man. Are y'all fucking serious?
Like, what the fuck, man?
So now, I've been doing this app for so long, and all my
Meanwhile, she look like she
While
from
the women are trying to answer the question that I'm I've been on this app for a very long time, and I hear you men tell us black women how ungrateful we are, and now that it's coming from me, y'all mad? Right.
Black women ain't ungrateful, man. We doing that.
Because it's still a Negro offline.
I just told you. That wasn't a request. That was a line. I'm not fucking women off of her, bro. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. They're like, what they say? I could be making this. She want me to be home all day. I could be doing this. She wants this. She's never fucking satisfied. So because I'm saying that this white man will never satisfy her, this is why she should not be with this white man, I'm wrong. Yeah, just shoot me. Well, I'm trying to work on this. I said you talking about the pink butt. The pink butts have the core. They have the core. They know that they're a man. And so when someone says lustful ladies, those pink butts, they be on you. They do. They be on you. But you know, you come around these sluts, cut each other off on goddamn. They cut each other off on what? It's 2026. Yes. Hey, P, I thought you wanted to say something. Let's please. We're having a good time today, and I love that for us. I just like the white man has resources. I call them wiggers.
I ain't gonna lie, we all know what her background is.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna
Yeah. You said I'm gay. Hey, please. You left the cell. It's right.
Another question. That doesn't say that white men are better than black men, right?
No, really. No, don't answer for me, goddamn. Don't you dare. Yes. more resources and like more gains than black men will have. But I'm not saying that to disrespect. I'm not saying that to disrespect a black man. I'm just saying that because that is just the society that we live in, right? If you walk outside, someone will honor. I mean, there was just a TikTok where he denied this black girl from giving him a hug, and then minutes later, from taking a picture with him, and then minutes later, a white girl comes up and he's pouring her liquor. Like she said, this was not even 2 minutes later. Like it was like a half a minute later. He's now pouring her liquor and he's hugging up with the white girl. I'm just saying, like, white will be right in our society. It sucks to say, right? It sucks to hear the real truth, but it is.
That's cliche.
Black women don't need to go there because they don't appreciate those things. They go there and still act ratchet and ghetto. So
I got a question. Is it
Sound like
real white? Right. You still want to
So you don't think that white is right in the world that we live in today? Like you don't think that people will automatically throw a white person? Then you don't live in the real world.
It don't even mean anything. White is right. That don't even mean nothing.
It's understood that you're beneath the level.
I would say none of the white men have said anything.
No. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because white men don't have to talk. They know their power.
Are there real
Man,
white?
that's ridiculous.
The fuck out. This nigga might not know what to say. We don't even know if he is even American white. This nigga could be Italian or something.
And you don't even know if you're really American black. You could be Haitian or something.
I'm a fucking mulatto. I don't know if I'm black. Go ahead.
Yes. Astro, are there real alabaster alpacas in here?
Yeah.
Did you know that slavery?
I'm not gonna answer that, you know.
Y'all real. Can you say the fuck on you? Goddamn. Now in a minute, I'ma tell you something. Say I'm a goddamn white. Damn comedian. Are y'all real geese?
I'm an alabaster alpaca.
Okay, so that's a white man, Tam. You a yeast yeti?
What the fuck mean?
What the fuck is a yeasty yeti?
Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Like you could leave the plantation. It's a threat. You know they end
Why are you little, bro? This Astro, you know what? These are the beneath the level. You know what? I'll cut you out when the white leave because you're stupid, and it's apparent. Like it really is.
Damn.
I'm gonna hold up on the suit.
Damn, she fucking roasted you.
She just said.
She said you're too stupid to even conversate with
I
her.
don't understand why you're this dumb, and you showing that you're dumb because the white men are literally laughing because these motherfuckers being.
They all laughing. You don't know what the fucking yeasty yeti is.
They finish their thoughts. They're laughing because they know that I'm trolling white people, and the fact that your dumb ass can't understand that, I'm gonna cut your ass out when these whites ain't around.
Okay, she muted. So what is a yeasty yeti?
It's a yeast yeti, B.
What the fuck is that?
It's a white man.
It's a white man, bro. All you had to do was type it in Google. Like, you just wrote the whole thing. Good job. Shut up. Like, you literally wrote the whole thing. Like, y'all be fucking up. You know, I didn't even say she's saying yeast yeti. You saying eat a yeti. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about?
I'm trying to figure it out. Apparently, we talking about white people. I didn't know that.
Well, all you had to do was put it in
I
Google.
didn't know that we was calling them yeasty yetis. I don't know how to spell
What
yeasty
is a
yeti.
yeasty yeti?
You can't spell yeast.
What is a yeasty yeti?
Are you that fucking
I said
retarded?
yeti.
What was the yeasty
Now,
yeti? That's not what it said.
she making up words as she go along.
I'm literally using real words.
Yeast yeti is a real, like, that is a phrase. What the fuck are we talking about?
Listen, I couldn't hear.
But the problem is, this is retarded.
You gotta
This
say
is retarded, and they don't let anybody graduate from fucking high
I
school.
literally said
You can't
complete
even
words.
Google.
Is this the woman with the tattoos on her nose?
Yeah, nigga, this is a tattoo on my nose.
You can't read or comprehend, you bum.
We're here talking about you can't say that.
This is supposed to be about white men. This is supposed to be about white men.
I'm gonna
But it's stop talking. It's supposed to be about white men and
You
just black
supposed to
men.
shut
Stop
up.
talking.
Women was supposed to
Did you run out of paper or what? Like, what the fuck?
You're dumb. That's what happened.
Oh my God.
to kiss the strays. Like, this is supposed to
She looked like they made it so bad. Look, let's
Hey, man, let the women talk, though.
Yeah, shut up, Cole. You ain't got no
man, this nigga ain't never had. You must say, this nigga, it's his first time, but.
You just don't understand. You just don't understand, again, right? That even the white men in the room knew that I was trolling them. A geese yeti is the similar thing as calling a white person a fucking snow roach or a goddamn albino possum or a goddamn alabaster alpaca, right? And here you come off of you while I'm trolling white men, right? To come off and interrupt the women speaking to say, what is a hippie yeti? Nobody said hippie yeti. I did say alpaca. I did say alabaster
You said all
alpaca.
kind of weird shit, but go ahead.
Right, but you're the only one that didn't understand what I said. Because all the people that I'm arguing with, right now, like, you're stupid, right?
Stuff on the same shit 5 minutes ago, like.
Oh, we're stuck on the same shit because you're beneath the level. One like on my car.
Is the hate for yourself.
One like on my car. You don't even know what's going on. You
I hear it.
You come.
One like
on my car.
We supposed to know that room is for white people, bro? Yeah, the yeti. You can tell by the process.
Y'all not ready.
You want to be a black white woman. I'm telling you, white men deserve this reaction. This guy has seen talk about ETA. What the heck? White men turn these women like this. They deserve the monster. They deserve this Frankenstein that they made.
Beneath the level too.
No.
Yes.
I told you the white men deserve this Frankenstein out of black women. They deserve it. It's only right.
I don't know what the hell I like to
They wrong at this time.
Because honestly, we all know people, men and women in the black community, where we feel like somebody of another race can have you. We're not checking for you. But I hate when we do this thing where we want to hyper focus on people's bad experiences and make it seem like it's generalized or it's all black men or all black women. Go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. The only issue is don't bash the opposing side. Don't bash your own people because you're with somebody of another race, because there's plenty of times where people have done that and that interracial relationship has fucking failed, and now you have egg on your face and you want to call black men or black women to come cape for you. Remember when you talked all that shit because you hate yourself and your black parents. Don't come crying to us, because a lot of times it's the same shit, a different toilet. You think that white women don't do this, you think that black women don't, white men don't do this, Latino men don't do this, Latino women don't do this. It's not true. You may find somebody who meets the archetype of what you thought only black men or black women did in somebody of another race. So please, be careful what you say, because when the chickens come home to roost, nobody's going to defend you because you burnt your bridges in your own fucking community.
What community? God damn. Gotta have a community. It's not real.
Y'all are something.
My fingers weren't fast enough.
One mic on Tam.
You know, Tam, you have to say something. You're the only white man in here. Can you please help? Say something, bro.
He ain't a white, literally a white man.
What? You look for it.
Listen, attraction is attraction, and your title is a troll title. White men deserve everything, and a black woman deserve everything. If you know love, well, then that's all that's important. And this is a political bullshit.
Same nigga real quick. That's the one time.
You give me that
It's a serious conversation, man.
Time gonna be able to say this.
I'm very
What are you doing?
Listen, if
She get Reverend up here. Reverend, she got a good take, I'm sure.
Say nigga one time. I committed suicide, man. Say nigga one time. Say nigga one time.
He's not gonna do it. He's not
You
gonna
can
do
do
it.
it. Just say it with the accent.
Hello?
Whisper. I'm warning you, don't whisper.
Yasmin.
Just don't say it with the hard R. I don't want to start. I don't want to start with a little free.
Don't you say that, Tim. He's Asian. This man, I don't give a fuck.
That's a white person from Europe or something. They look real white man. We talking about the white people over here.
So this title, white man. So this title, man, I heard a lady say that when black women get with white men, they do like the relationship, but they sneak off and get black dick every now and then. Do you think that's true?
I think that might be true because we see quote unquote lesbians and dykes sneak dipping all the time. So I'm gonna be shut the fuck up on that.
Like pussy fly. It's like opening curtains at a movie theater.
So something so they want white men.
Black, you never come back and move.
There's something so that they want white men just for what they should have done and not sexually. Like they're not sexually attracted to white men. They just want it because they treat them better and they have finances that they take care of them and they don't leave the relationship.
And they don't murder. They don't murder them.
I will partially agree with you.
I say they don't murder when they killed all them Indians and everybody with smallpox. What?
That was like 400 years ago. I'm talking about like they don't like murder black women.
Yes, they do. What are you talking about?
Bird like a black guy.
That ain't real, bro.
Because they already know you a slave.
Your mom's a slave, bitch.
Oh my goodness. No.
You have to fuck that.
Who told you they don't do that? They just did some lady from, we was talking about it the other day, Chicago or something, Illinois. White man killed the black lady there. And they chopped the body up. That's really crazy.
I agree with the point that because I've been noticing this is one thing that I don't like. I don't like when black women do it or when black men do it. It irritates me. I don't like when they either go and find the ugliest, sloppiest looking person of another race, but they had all the standards for black men or black women, or they go and try to mold them into being a white black person. That shit is weird. You might as well have just dated inside your race. Like you're forcing them to try to make their hair look like ours, try to emulate black culture. That shit is very fucking weird, but you claim you don't like black women or black men. To me, that's rooted in fucking colorism and self-hatred. That's weird as fuck. And when I see that happen, I'm like, something is internally wrong with you. So go ahead and do you. Because then when they dogging you out behind doors and calling you an N-word, they don't like their biracial grandchildren, I don't want to hear it. Because you knew what it was.
So what about the other day? You see the whole video of being white in the hood. You didn't see it?
Cookie Monster pajama pants. That's all I'm
And another one.
So I think that it's okay. For people to date outside their race. I don't think that it's a big deal. I think that y'all just gotta let people live their lives. And a lot of the people that complain about it be single, miserable, and lonely. You know?
Do what you want to do. Just don't bash your own people. That's the only thing.
I think that we need to bring back shame culture. Yes. So if you're being a disrespectful ass black man and I'm with this prideful ass white man, I'm probably gonna say something to you about being a disrespectful because he needs to tighten up.
You can't.
And I think
like
that
Tennessee with Patron.
people do it every day. People get drunk on Hennessy and Patron at the same time. You know what I'm saying? People don't fucked up.
At the end of the night,
they have a ball, but they having a ball. They're not fucked up while they're having a ball. They're just having a fucking ball. You know, Hennessy and Patron, they mixed. They can go together. It's okay. You may have a little hangover, but all I'm saying is the way that I think is, if those people want to be with those people, let them fucking be, right? Now, honestly, on the topic, because earlier I was kind of trolling, but I do think a lot of black women are ungrateful. That part I wasn't lying about. I wasn't lying when I said, like, hey, I see black women in these relationships with these white men and they take it for granted. They do a little bit more than they would if they were with a black man, or they just do more in general, like, than they would around personal family. They get around these white people and they try to change themselves. So I think that when it comes to that, yeah, like, you know, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve a higher lifestyle if you're changing your entire life. You know, the higher lifestyle should come with the way that you're already living and being who you are.
Kamala did it.
Well, I'm not Kamala, right? I'm not Kamala, right? And I don't have any friends that are like Kamala. I don't have any friends that are like in politics like that. I don't really refer myself to celebrities because that's not who I am. But in the real world, it's weird, it's strange. I do think it's weird to be black and then marry a white man and then like, I don't know, I've seen it before. Like, your kids are white, bro. Like, even if you're mixed, that's really what it is. If you're mixed and you marry a white man, your kids are white. Like,
Yeah, but the kids might say I'm white or black. They're always gonna pull the black card when it suits their need.
You said what?
I said that if you biracial, you're gonna pull the race card whenever you politically need to pull it.
That's okay, and they should. I think that that's okay. I would. Shit. I have a friend that's from Honduras. He's black as hell. You would have thought he was just that. You obviously look at him and would have thought he was African. The way that people look at him when they hear him speak, it blows my fucking mind. Because it's like they think he's an alien or some shit. No, the nigga is from Honduras. He don't speak a lick of English. He's like, well, he does speak English, but it's broken English. You understand what I'm saying? But when people hear him speak, they think he just gonna sound like a Greek. And then they come out speaking.
You know, this is state in 2025. And he's vocal about it, bro. I'll tell you.
Who's saying that, though? Who's saying that? Oh, because that's who I was talking to. I was just trying to see who was saying that, but I'll chill.
Okay. Well, it's been several women on stage that said they won't be able to
Dumbass motherfuckers choke on.
Who said that?
I'm not saying that that's what they said. They said a while ago. But I think it's
I just
kind
didn't hear it.
yeah, it's kind of crazy that they did that, man. Because back in the day, you would never hear a black woman even come out of her mouth and say something like that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't show you like how black men are viewed in our community now. You know
Well, they hate white men.
We're hated because they hate themselves more. Do you not get it? Like, self-hate is what they're projecting. That's why they can't stand it. They can't stand their real hair. No, they can't stand their real hair. They can't stand nothing about themselves. When they look in the mirror, if they don't have that hair hat on, they're depressed. They're sad if that hair hat isn't tight, if that's its own type. They get so sad. They get so sad. They have no self-esteem. They're overweight. They're angry. They're mad.
What does hair have to do with a white man?
Let us finish to deal with that.
Well, he's finished now.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just self-hatred. It's all of the things that they hate about
So I
themselves.
hate myself
When
because I'm dating a white
they
man.
hate themselves. And then, but see, what they'll realize is even when they go to other races, they don't want them either. They understand that they're unloved and undeserving of having love because of the things that they chose to be and do. Like, they hate the little kids that they have. They treat them like slaves. They don't respect anybody. They talk very foul. You know, when the Lord comes back, he's going to put your asses on charcoal juice. And you're going to be roasting, smoking, smelling like lamb chops.
You don't even like black women. Like, listen to how you talk about black women. You don't even like. And that's what I'm saying.
It's just facts.
He's also lies in cult Messiah and sexual drug leader. And he's probably the most knowledgeable individual on Crowley that I know, and a very dear friend of mine for the last 10 years. So we welcome him.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'd like to say thank you, Laura, and how honored I am to be here. I'm pleased to be here. I lived in Los Angeles from 1981 to 1982, and it's a real pleasure to be back again. Now, I do have that word not to say will interest you. Do what thy will shall be the head of the law. It is my will to explain what Aleister Crowley had to say to you, and it is obviously your will to be here to listen to it, otherwise why did you pay $15? Now, I think it was Oscar Wilde who said that the English and the Americans have absolutely everything in common, except their language. I sincerely hope there won't be any linguistic difficulties here tonight. I remember some time ago, I was with a very good bunch of guys in some bar somewhere, and they wanted me to come to a party, and they wanted me to come now. And I said, sure, just give me a couple of minutes to score some fags to bring with me. I walked away and got my packet of cigarettes, came back, and I couldn't understand why they were giving me the cold shoulder. And a friend of yours, and I said, what's the matter, guys? I mean, you're bringing these two. And they got even more offended and more insulted. It took 5 minutes of, that sort of very boring conversation between the English and the Americans. And what we say when we say this means, what we say is this. And finally, we got it sorted out, and thank heavens for that. But I sincerely hope that no such difficulties will lead to what I call Anglo-American relations. Now, it's very difficult to address an audience on Crowley because you don't actually know just how much the audience knows on him. You don't know at what point you come in on the matter. What I do not propose to do is to give one of those lectures which I've attended far too often, and after 1 hour, you sort of look at your watch and it seems like 3 hours have gone by, and you realise, oh my God, we're only in 1922 and he died in 1947. I propose to summarise his life very briefly because what I really want to talk about are his ideas and how they affect us today. I would ask the indulgence of anybody in the audience who has really put in a lot of not only study but also practice of these matters. I really don't want to be in the position of the charming Californian waitress one time when I was in a coffee shop and I saw soup to shore and wondered what it was, called over the waitress and said, what's the soup du jour, please? She gave me one of those lovely California smiles and said, waiter, that's the soup of the day. I know that. And I don't really want to give you a soup du jour tonight. So, first of all, who was Aleister Crowley? He was born in 1875 and he died in 1947. He was brought up in the Plymouth Brethren, an exclusive and utterly disgusting Christian sect which believes in taking every single word of the Bible literally. Unsurprisingly, he rebelled against it. He went into a stage which some might call depression, some might call an existential crisis, but it's the sort of thing that hits many people when they're in their teenage years. And it's a feeling of utter futility, that absolutely nothing in life is worthwhile. And it's very strange to get it actually when you're a teenager, because that's when the animal spirits should be at their utmost. But that's paradoxically enough when many people get it. He gave up his ambitions to become an ambassador. He gave up his ambitions to become world chess champion. He had high hopes of realising that ambition. He was regarded as coming master and beaten the future champion of Scotland, and even in later life, when he played chess for recreation, he would beat European grandmasters. He gave that up because one thing, and one thing only, mattered to him. Many years ago, I interviewed an American conservative called William F. Buckley, and I asked him what, in his opinion, was the point of life. He replied by his usual rather long-winded blathering on about Roman Catholicism, which is the worst aspect of that otherwise, in my opinion, exceptionally intelligent man. But then he said different that, and he was good. If I did not believe in that, I would be very much inclined towards Camus' point that the only serious philosophical question is whether or not to commit suicide. And actually, I think Buckley got it on the ball there. And the only serious philosophical question is whether or not to commit suicide. Because if life is just a matter of getting born, getting married, and pissing off, well, frankly, what are we doing here? surely there is some kind of essential meaning to life. Now, this is what Crowley thought, and he thought that way, which we'll be getting into later on in this talk, was a way called magic. And he joined the Order of the Golden Dawn, and he made remarkable progress. And then there were a series of quarrels which do not concern us, because the favourite occupation of occultists seems to be quarrelling with one another rather than getting on with some work. And only people worked rather than quarrelled, just think what we could accomplish. However, he was involved in that quarrel. He departed from the Golden Dawn, and he proceeded to go around the world twice, learning in every country from everyone he met. He was the sort of man who he never let a day pass without learning something new. He lived life to the full. You name it, he did it. He was, for example, probably the greatest mountaineer of his generation. Only the other day I was reading a book on mountaineering by some guy who'd climbed Everest. And he was talking about the Crowley-Eckenstein expedition to K2, or Cheguri as it is often called. And this is the second highest mountain in the world. They made the first attempt upon it. They made it without oxygen. They set a record that was not surpassed for 25 more years. And there was a quarrel, I'd never known this before, I wish I'd put it in my book, between Eckenstein, the leader of the expedition, and Crowley, the deputy leader. And Eckenstein was saying, we climb it that way, and Crowley was saying, we climb it that way. And they'd made a written agreement that in the event of dispute, Eckenstein's decision as leader was final. And so they did it Eckenstein's way, and although they set records, they didn't climb it. Oddly enough, K2, or Cheguri, was climbed in the 1950s, and it was climbed by Crowley's route. And the author of Mountaineering in his book remarked, if they'd only attempted it that way, who knows, they might have made it, and we'd now be talking about Crowley Ridge. He was, moreover, a very good poet, a very fine poet. He published volumes and volumes of poetry, not all of it excellent. I thought I'd give you just a few examples of his poetry, nothing too heavy, just sort of short snippets. In a very light mood, he could throw off lines like, the world for a whore, the sky for a harlot, all life at your door for a woman of scarlet. I'll give that and more in this planet of boredom, for a girl that's a whore and is proud of her whoredom. Or he could the metaphysics of these verses is...
Are you projecting?
My cursed...
Did you come for a Jewish consultation to project onto me your own mental health crisis?
Yeah, dude, my dads are fighting and I'm really mad. I wish they would stop.
Sorry to hear that, but we've all got work to do today.
No sooner in an iron word I formulate my thought, yet it's all the same, to be absurd. Or it could be quite relevant. I don't have time to memorize this. This is when his marriage broke up. He's married to a very, very beautiful woman. He married her to stick around with a jam, more of that anon. Okay. Cry like a dog and run about the city. He was lamenting, this breakup of the marriage with a woman he totally loved. There is no word left. Now the deed is dead. No thought of her is in me. I'm a stranger to all that dream of danger and bliss that Rose was, that were in dreams. And light spring in me are fed, not even on the mire of her decay. They spring from other roots. I'm cleansed of her. I am, so to say, a man paralyzed. One man is dead in feeling as in emotion. This remains to us. When I'll catch death, how soon this head excites his miserable brains. To think the world it knows by intellect. To be the right word, pity, and reflect. Pitiful, pitiful, most pitiful. The pity of it. Think of the love past. Blossoms too beautiful. Think of the hardships conquered comrade-wise. Think of the babe in its most piteous end. All these things sound like lies I do not comprehend anything of them. Pity, pity, pity. 'Tis like the dripping of some stagnant rain from the housetops of a ruined city upon the flagstones. Not one petal clings upon the stalk or life or memory stain. Not one pale thought with blushes. My soul's dead as a corpse flung out of a tideway on the stinking flats of London mud. The springs are dry beyond appeal, dull grey like lead, and heavier is my soul's carrion. If she came pleading now, pure, passionate, and saying, I would not take her back again. I'm warned, that's one word. Let my own back feel the lash. The power of love is burnt right through to ash. Bread in a mortar, mix with double and egg, and give it to the children for free. Quite powerful poetry, I hope you will agree. And he wrote poetry throughout his life. He dedicated his life to magic. As a result of this, and as a result of the fact that he was very unconventional, and very intelligent, and very tough, and didn't scare easy, and loved women very, very much, this made him dreadfully unpopular. And I think the greatest instinct of mediocrity is the passion to persecute. And this is what happened to him. Now, I'm going to give you some of the things that I said about him. Because many people, when you mention Aleister Crowley, freak out. They've read some wretched book by a old journalist called Simons, and I actually believe it. The myths about Crowley are, well, judge for yourself. I apologize for reading from the book, but I put it down there because it's the most concise way in which I can convey it to you. And let's open with a quote from Jonathan Swift. When a man of genius appears, you may know him by this sign.
Hey, doctor, did you go to Jim Bresco's room today and get kicked?
No, he didn't kick me. He's, I didn't really say anything to him.
He's retarded. He's stupid.
Oh, I know. It's just a virtue signaler.
I heard him one day. He's like, I'm about to fucking blow up on social media. I was like, holy shit, this fucking loser. He thinks he's going to become like popular, or people are like, he's got delusions of grandeur because he's on Clown House talking about black reparations every single day. Fucking loser. He's mental. I think his time in prison, being with all these African Americans, you know, and how now he's their defender because they get the bad end of justice when they commit crimes. You know, this is his calling to be the new, you know, Maury Povich or something like that.
The sad thing is people, the left is looking for someone to, anybody, I think, that they might, if they found him, they might actually prop that dumb son of a bitch up.
He's still the enemy because he's like a straight white male, you know, and yeah, even though he's a political, yeah. I mean, you know, whatever. I'm just saying, I like, you know, he kicks me out of his rooms right away as soon as I come in. I think it's like actually like a badge of honor to be, you know, kicked in this like.
Yeah, he told me one time because I don't pander, and if we're gonna have a conversation, I'm gonna call you out. And he's just got such fucking off the wall stances. Yeah, I believe reparations. You know, every black person should get reparations. I believe in Carmelo Anthony. You know that he was defending himself. Just he defends the indefensible, and it's just fucking crazy. If there's an issue, he's on the wrong side of it, dude. You know. Like, you can count on JB to be on the wrong side of the issue.
Hey, the Black Kitover is back on the app-ish.
Black terrorist.
His name is Ish. Yeah. Have you met him?
No, I ran into a Somali pirate one time, and he was about to go attack like a nearby town, and never heard from the motherfucker ever again. Like, he literally had pictures of him with RPGs and shit on his back. Like, that was his PTR. And he was, like, talking about because he was Muslim, he was going to go attack this, like, Christian village and shit. Never heard from him again, so maybe he got smoked. Hopefully he got smoked, you know.
Somalis don't think themselves as black.
Yeah, I mean, I could find this PTR. It's in here somewhere. It's just like, wow, bro. I'll find it and put it on my PTR if I can here.
I read some good quote on like X today. It said that like one or something while their own personal lives burned to the ground. I was like, that's fucking Clownhouse in summation if I've ever heard it.
Oh, fuck, man. I mean, I start to get embarrassed when I'm on this app because I start to think, here he is. Or I'm going to put this on for my PTR. But, you know, I start to feel like I'm lumping myself into this. You know, I'm like, why the fuck does this app attract such low-down motherfuckers? Like, there is some good people on here, you know, but it's rare, you know, and I wonder, like, am I one of these low-down motherfuckers because I'm on here every day, you know? But I just, until I'm blue in the face, I try to find a good faith conversation, and it just, dude, it's hard on this fucking app, you know? It's hard.
It's the walls of the public toilet.
I don't know. I think live streaming myself on like multiple platforms and, you know, re-platforming the content on here is actually like kind of a cool thing and possibly could be like a business because it's all just like hyper dynamic variable voices and identities, and the people watching it are actually following along with the conversation or they're not, you know.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
you should do a 24-hour, 7-day, 5-year live stream, 24 hours until you sleep for yourself.
Like I've been doing for 5 years.
For years, years straight, even when you're sleeping. Like a donation camp, so people can like send you texts and stuff, like, $5 and I'll respond to something that you said.
Check out my PTR, dude. This is that Somali pirate that I was talking to. Never heard from this motherfucker again, too. He's some Muslim. And he was going to attack some Christian village. And he was literally like, he's about to go. And he was all telling us about it. I was like, wow, I gotta get a picture.
Wait, somebody from this app?
Yeah, bro. That was a Somali pirate that had Clubhouse. And he was talking about how he did piracy, he robbed boats and away with people. But then he was talking about how he was going to go attack this fucking village next door, I guess, to his other village and shit. Like, because he was Muslim, they were Christian and shit. They were going to go over there and fight him, but then I never heard from him. That was like literally the one time I heard from this guy, and he talked to us, and we never heard from him again. We were all wondering what happened to him. I'm hoping he got smoked, you know, because, like...
Probably fake.
Huh?
Probably fake.
I don't know, dude. You know, you'll talk to many different people on here, you know, so.
A lot of the ESL tards are on this.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Are you suggesting that people on here might fake who they are and might exaggerate or even outright lie about their accomplishments or what they do? Are you suggesting that, John?
I'm just saying, like, you know, the power of the mind to project or to, like, use your imagination off of just, like, you know, name that tune. It's amazing what your mind can, you know, make you think is real or something just based on what you're absorbing. You know, the brain absorbs all. It cannot stop absorbing. So whether you believe it or not, it's still now, you know, in your memory and impacting your thoughts or behaviors. So there's a saying, it's like what you're thinking is who you are, and it, you know, colors your soul. So if you are on this app all the time listening to, you know, a piece of shit propagandist, like that's actually your thoughts. That is your, you know, it's creating. So you have to essentially take other information and put it inside of you. Otherwise, you are what you're listening to. And so that's my theory about communication.
Hey, John, have you read any books today?
No, not yet, but I'm having like a health crisis over here. My foot is all swollen and I can't walk. So I'm like slowly, my foot is all swollen. I have a gout inflammation attack because I've been eating and drinking like a pig. And so, yeah, I'm like, it's horrifying when you can't actually walk, you know? It's like terrifying. And so I'm like nursing it, I'm icing it, you know. So anyways, but I've been listening to a lecture about Aleister Crowley this morning by somebody named Gerald Suster. Kind of interesting.
You know, I caught you ordering ribs one time over the phone, and I thought to myself, this guy is either fat or it's like a rat. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, yeah, don't do have gout, man. Damn.
I know. It's fucking all the fat and all the beer, all the. What really puts me over the edge is when I go out on a Friday or Saturday night, and I'll get like, you know, liquor or bourbon or what is that stuff called? Anyways, Jameson. You know, like that is what inflames it, where it's just like I'm just overdoing my consumption, and I shouldn't actually drink any of that shit. It's like if you stay very disciplined with regards to your diet and exercise, like you won't really have health problems. But it's those Friday, Saturday nights when I go out and like you just like, you know, one drink after the next, and then a week later your fucking blood acid levels are like through the roof because your body's like keeping up with what it ingested, and then it causes this horrifically painful inflammation known as gout. And I should probably go to the pharmacist to get pills. They have pills that can like treat this, but fuck, I probably should. I gotta call there to see if they have the prescription.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, bro, I had a wake up call, I don't know, 5 years ago. You know, when I turned 30 years old, bro, you know, I just noticed I was feeling sluggish, you know, starting to get more pain, you know, and just really feeling my age. And I'm not like peak of fucking physical health. I will admit, when I moved to the city last year, bro, all I was fucking fast and eating out, a bunch of shit, you know. And it caught up to me fast. I still have metabolism where I can feed my body in relatively fast, not as fast as I can.
And West North Avenue in Chicago.
What's really helped me, more people out there, like you said, but methylene blue, you guys ever heard of that shit? RFK Jr. was taking it during his confirmation hearing, and now a bunch of biohackers are taking it and shit. They were taking it before, but it's really good. It gives you cellular energy, you know, flaxseed.
When you die, your brain is going to be blue.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about that. I'm not concerned about that.
You'll have a blue brain when you die. It's pretty crazy.
Not really. I mean,
Yeah, look it up. 100%.
if you're taking it constantly, yeah. I mean, if you were taking it up to where you died, yeah, of course. I mean, but listen, man, I'm telling you, it's really good shit.
It dies your nervous system. Opposed to like, yeah, 100%. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm telling you though. Listen, that's
At the
not
corner
my
of North
concern,
Pulaski
right?
Road
It's
and West
really,
Jersey Park
there's a
Road
lot of
in
benefits
Chicago.
to it. It's really good, gives you energy. But
Para
also,
continuar en español,
you know,
oprima
fruit
el
smoothies in the morning, bros. Fruit smoothies, dude, are like fucking awesome, man.
Okay.
Add a little bit of flaxseed, some hemp hearts, some granola, and then just like fruit smoothies, dude. You'll lose that fucking belly and you'll really start getting
Hello?
Please, so I can help you best. What are you calling about today?
Pharmacist.
Or checking the status of your prescription. So tell me, what can I help you with?
Status of
Or
prescription.
Sure. Just tell me the patient's phone number or a prescription number.
312-498-0517.
I didn't catch that. Say or enter the patient's phone number or a prescription number. The phone number. Okay, you're a prescriber. What would you like to do? Leave a message? Call in a new prescription? Or return a call? Or let me know if you have other questions.
Other questions. Is my prescription still there?
You have other questions, right?
Yes.
Just so you know, the pharmacy's open until 5 p.m. and closed for a meal break at 1:30 p.m. until 2 p.m. Tomorrow, the pharmacy's closed. If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Connecting you to the pharmacy. Please remain on the line to speak with a member of our staff. We're sorry, our staff is answering other calls. Please hold on and we'll be with you shortly.
Because she's not lying. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the prosecution is not going to get that man today. Because I'm going to get him. My client, the Honorable Henry T. Fleming, shall go right to fucking jail. Son of a bitch. He's allowed to go free. Something really wrong is going on. If you have one, you have one. You have one. The whole trial's out of order. The whole is so free.
The man who made Congress step out to defeat his opponent. He then put steel beams, which
Hi, I had a prescription for allopurinol sent there like a year ago. I wanted to see if it was still available to 11682. Yeah, 11682. It might not be a year. Kitover, K-I-T over. 5562 West Edmonds, Chicago, Illinois. 6063. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, just I have like gout inflammation in my foot. Can't walk. Is allopurinol is that over the counter? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks. Okay.
Says the United in the Confederacy against them. In 1907, Florence Farr Emery wrote the following in the New Age London periodical of that time. It is a hydra-headed monster, this London opinion, but we should not be surprised at all to see an almost unparalleled event, namely, every one of those hydra heads moving with a single purpose, and that purpose, the Napoleon always was. This would be a remarkable achievement for a young gentleman who only left Cambridge quite a few years ago. It requires a certain amount of serious purpose to stir public opinion into active opposition. And the only question is, has Mr. Crowley serious purpose? A frank judgment is that the young man is a remarkable product of an unremarkable age. His power of expression is extraordinary. His kite flies, but he never fails to jerk it back to earth with some touch of ridicule or pathos, which makes it still an open question whether he will excite that life-giving animosity on the part of public opinion, which is accorded only to the most dangerous thinkers. This life-giving animosity can best, I think, be demonstrated by a series of quotations. John Bull magazine, 5 November 1910, Mr. Alistair Crowley's blasphemous and prurient propaganda. Sunday Express, 26 November 1922. Whenever he needs money and cannot get it from fresh victims, he sends them on the streets of Palermo or Naples to win it for him. He served once a prison sentence in America for procuring young girls for a similar purpose. Why didn't he sue? Quite simple, he didn't have money. Here's a nice one, Sunday Express, 26 November 1922. A large number of his books are printed privately, some of them in Paris. They're either incomprehensible or disgusting, generally both. His language is the language of a pervert, and his ideas are negligible. Headlines from John Bull included The King of Depravity, the wickedest man in the world. King of Depravity arrives. We track the temptress, and this delicious one, a cannibal at large, a man we'd like to hang, and a human beast returns. Can human folly and fatuity go further? Yes, it can, and it did every week in the Sunday Express and John Bull. Now, there's no point in pretending that Alistair Crowley was a saint. It's quite impossible to give that man a coat of whitewash, thank goddess. That man certainly had his faults, and these included vanity, conceit, a sudden habit of not paying bills. He lived out Oscar Wilde's maxim, the only way to live in the memory of England's commercial classes is by not paying one's bills. He often accused people of stealing from him on the basis of very slender evidence, or no evidence at all. He was vicious every act, very vicious indeed, and his treatment of two disciples of his, Norman Mudd and Leo Hertzi, is very hard to understand and very hard to excuse. So he was no saint, but then nor were any of the great religious teachers of mankind. And anybody who knows that statement would be well advised to study the lives written by the enemies of the great teachers of mankind. Now, In point of fact, I think it's probable that his virtues made him many more enemies, actually, than his vices. Israel Regardie, a late dear friend of mine, argued in the Island Triangle that Crowley, in an experience in the Sahara when he invoked the great demon of dispersion horizon, actually failed to overcome his repressed father hatred and his Oedipus complex, and that his crossing into mastership, though done, was flawed. Myself, I don't agree, but I recommend all of you to study Regardie's skillfully argued case and draw your own conclusions. It's certainly worth study for anyone who's interested in annihilating the ego. I think Crowley did actually annihilate his ego. After he did that, he played with it and he bounced it like a ball. One thing I really don't like about him is that he was frequently slagging off gays and frequently slagging off sadists and masochists when he himself was bisexual with sadomasochistic tendencies, or at least one both ways. This, I think, is probably the worst thing that could be said about him. Normally, anyone who's heard of Aleister Crowley says, oh my God, that terrible man, that Satanist. He wasn't a Satanist at all. He aspired to union with all that is holy in the universe. We will be getting on to that. But he's often slagged off for liking sex and drugs. So do so many, and so what? In any case, Crowley's use of sex and drugs would sound positively tame compared to the use by the average rock star or starlet. All one can say really is big deal. He liked those things.